Would you like to change my mind?
I kind of believe you gotta be rich because I'm struggling because I'm poor with my podcast. So I believe you gotta be rich.
Okay, well, so we're
I
doing.
can't change your mind.
Well, listen, there are ways to be successful here without a lot of money, but it really comes down to the tools that you're using and how you're investing your time. So you want to take a couple minutes, and you can use, we're live streaming here, you can actually use this content for your marketing if you're interested.
What do I have to do?
Okay, so I've got a series of just questions, just takes about 2 minutes, and then we'll start by, let's start with this. All right, so who are we speaking with today?
Paula of Talk Shit with P.
All right, and so tell me the name of your podcast and the premise.
Talk Shit with P.
Okay, and what is it about?
It's a safe space for people to talk their shit, be their authentic self, own their stories while advocating for mental health.
Okay, I love that. I'm actually a podcast host as well and a producer. I host a podcast called The Change, which is focused on mental health and trying to destigmatize it, kind of primarily around the like business and stuff like that. So, all right, where are you based out of? Where do you live?
Atlanta, Georgia. But I'm Tanzanian, y'all. African.
Okay, did you fly here? Did you drive here? How did you get here?
I flew.
Yeah, okay, so I landed in Atlanta. It's a huge airport.
Oh my God. You gotta go there like 3 hours before just to make sure you don't miss your flight while you're in that TSA line because our airport is crazy.
Yeah, I had a short layover. I was kind of worried that my stuff wouldn't transfer from one plane to the next, but how long have you been podcasting?
Since 2020.
Okay, kind of around, it was shortly after the pandemic that I got started with mine, but why don't you tell us about your podcast growth? What have you been doing, and what does your podcast look like in terms of your growing audience?
It is grown in a way that I didn't expect because when I started it, I wasn't thinking about downloads. I wanted to first figure out, do I love this? So I wasn't looking at the numbers, I wasn't bothered. And then when I got my 10,000 downloads from Buzzsprout, I was like, oh fuck, this is cool. People actually want to hear my shit out there. And now it's a slow growth, but it is a growth. I love having authentic growth as much as I want it to grow as faster, but I'm on 4,500 downloads. Season 6 is starting next month, 100 and something episodes. So it's been slow, but it's been growing.
Okay, and are you doing all of the production yourself? Do you have a team of people that you're working with?
No money to hire. But also when I started, because I didn't want to invest if I wasn't sure I would love it enough. So I wanted first to see how much do I love it to put money in. And I wanted also to learn everything by myself. That way when I hire somebody, at least certain things I know if they end up being sick or they can't do it, at least I can kind of. So it's been nice learning how to edit. I used to spend 3-4 hours editing an episode. These days, I sometimes don't even have to edit it, or I spend like less than 10-15 minutes because I've gotten so comfortable in the mic, and I've learned that the editing doesn't need to be straight because I want people to feel like, yeah, okay, we cough, we're going to laugh, we're going to say the wrong word, we're going to take a breath. I want them to feel the reality. So I don't.
Yeah, it's real life. I mean, especially if your podcast is around, talking shit and stuff like that. It's real life.
Make it like, no, so that's why I don't edit much. And the more I got comfortable on the mic, the more easier and comfortable the conversation gave. So it wasn't much editing needed. And every podcaster, every guest I've had, we have built a connection because I'm such a, bubbly, chippily, talkative person. So I just get them talking and it just flows. Yes, sometimes we go out of content, so I have to edit that part. Like, oh my God, we went so away from there. But it's been amazing to see my personal growth on the mic and with my podcast.
Yeah, I love that. And I can echo that as well. I mean, I think at first when I started doing mine, I thought I had to kind of plan and organize a lot more than I eventually needed to. Like when I realized that, as long as I kind of have somewhat of an outline for what I want to talk about, let the conversation flow naturally. But the final question here. So, I guess it's a two-parter. What's been the greatest achievement and what's been the hardest pain point in terms of growing your podcast?
The greatest achievement I would say was coming here last year at PodFest and walking in this booth. And one of these great booths, the guy saw me, and when I introduced myself, was like, "Yo, Paula, talk shit with me. I've been waiting to see you, to meet you." That felt like, oh my God, they're actually people in this industry. Because sometimes you just think like, maybe my friends and families are the people listening. Or so to find somebody who's a booth, a sponsor, an older person, like way there, but he knows about me. That was like, oh my God, I'm in the right area.
Yeah,
and
like
also,
you made it finally.
But also the connections I make. Like every time I come to PodFest, I feel like it's a family. The connections that we keep growing, the networking I've done, all of that. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, the biggest challenge or pain point?
Growing it, I guess, and find, especially on social media, getting people to engage. Because you might put away content, but you also want people to engage with you. So that is the struggle. The first thing I'm gonna do is hire a social media marketer to help me figure that shit out. But
yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Talking Shit with P. Everybody, check it out. Thank you.